All right, good morning, everyone. Welcome to Giants Sports Talk Live morning edition here this Tuesday morning. Glenn, what happened with the Giants yesterday?
I don't know, buddy. These early mornings. Sun hasn't even come up yet here up in Canada. I know we're early, too, in the Bay Area. Everybody's geared up for a game at Oracle Park after the night off. You and I had a very memorable Giants Sports Talk Live last night. No topic was off the table, and the chat was bringing it, so we had a lot of fun, but it's back to business with the 71 and 73 Giants tonight, Eric, with your old pal, Hayden Birdsong, pitching tonight. Oh, boy.
You know, the kid's going to be good, but it's just this is his first taste of the major leagues. It's his first, he's getting tired, so I'm not expecting a lot, but who knows? Maybe he goes out there and he has a good game, but It's. I think he's starting to feel it a little bit. Again, he's young. Same thing with Harrison, young, but it's experience that's invaluable, especially for the years ahead. So let's see what he could do out there. It's good. He's going to go up against the tough team. Those Milwaukee Brewers, they're a really good team, as we saw when the Giants were in Milwaukee not that long ago.
Yeah, I was going to say to you, anytime Eric comes on the show, day or night show, our regularly scheduled Giant Sports Talk Live in the evenings, if Eric says, I don't expect much, watch, he'll throw a two-hitter tonight. So I've got him winning 2 out of 3 in this series, Eric. You've got him winning just 1.
Yeah, I just got him 1-1.
Yeah, that's never know. The real San Francisco Giants, I don't know who they are. Team without an identity, you never know, Eric.
I thought they were going to get swept in San Diego, and they wind up winning the series 2-1. So there you go.
Yep, that's right. All right, we got the Giants and the Brew Crew tonight. That one features Birdsong and Aaron Civale. He's 5-8 for Milwaukee. The righty up against the righty tonight at Oracle. The game will be on NBC Bay Area, or you can catch it on KNBR. That one is a 6:45 start, and it's just one of quite a few games, and a couple of them very important in the wild card chase too, Eric.
Absolutely. Should be a lot of fun. We'll see how this all pans out with, the National League wild card is going to be a great race, especially for that third spot. Unfortunately, Giants are out of it, but watching the Braves and the Mets going at it, that's going to be a lot of fun to watch. Heck, you never know. They might be in the hunt for the second and first wild card. It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun down the stretch.
Everything goes in the evening tonight. So let's start things off, Eric, with Colorado taking on the Detroit Tigers.
Yeah, absolutely. And, we were talking about it a little bit on the show before we started getting a little bit off track, but Detroit's only 3 games behind in the third wild card for the American League. There's 3 teams. It was Detroit, Boston, and Seattle. All of them are 3 games away from or behind in the third wild card. So that could be kind of interesting here to finish out the month of September.
Where the heck did Detroit come from?
I don't know, but they're playing really good ball. You got Bradley Blaylock going for Colorado. Colorado's been, they've had some interesting victories against some really good teams. So we'll see how that works out. I mean, it should be easier for Detroit, but we'll find out here later this afternoon. You got Kiter Montero going for Detroit. Again, let's see if Detroit could keep making some noise in that American League.
Let's see if Detroit can win one of the first 2. They've got Scooble going on Thursday, so you just never know. Miami is in Pittsburgh tonight. Adam Aller and Carmen Molzinski.
Lodzinski.
Say it fast, and they won't know the difference.
There you go.
Adam and Carmen doing battle tonight. All righty. That one's in Pittsburgh. What do we got going on in Philly?
And then you got Tampa Bay squaring off against the Philadelphia Phillies. 3:40 start this afternoon. Got Taj Bradley going up against Ranger Suarez. Again, Philadelphia, who knows? Tampa Bay, you never know. They could play spoiler and win a game against Philly. It is in Philly, so it will be tough. So we'll see what happens there in Philadelphia later this evening.
All of a sudden, Atlanta finds themselves a game behind the New York Mets in the wild card. We'll take a peek at it in a minute, but Atlanta enters play today, still 12 games up, 78-66. That's their record. 78-66 entering play today. Now they've got Ronaldo Lopez, the righty, 8-5 up against Mackenzie Gore, 8-11. And Atlanta, that pitcher, Lopez, sporting a beautiful 2.04 earned run average. So the record of 8-5, not indicative of the way he's throwing the ball with that.
He's throwing the ball good.
Nifty ERA.
That is fantastic. Again, Atlanta needs to make some hay here because the rest of their schedule on the way out, it's not as difficult as the Mets, but you got LA, I think, looming ahead. There's going to be a key series against the Mets. I think it's the second to the last series of the season.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be exciting. Going to be really exciting. Kansas City
And then,
facing up against.
I was going to say, maybe you want to jump ahead now. Atlanta is trailing the Mets, and look at the Mets. They're in Toronto today, Eric.
Yeah, I'll take a look at that. You got the New York Mets again facing off against the Toronto Blue Jays. David Peterson going for the Mets, and you got Chris Bassett who throws everything but the kitchen sink for the Toronto Blue Jays. Again, that's another key game for the Mets. They got it. Their schedule is going to be really difficult. I think they got 2 series with Philadelphia. They got a series against, again, the Braves, the second to the last series. I think there was another one in there. I can't remember who
did they close against.
Brewers. They close against the Brewers. That's going to be tough. Mets got a difficult schedule the rest of the way out. So we'll see what happens. It should still be exciting though.
You know, every time we do this in the morning, we take a look at the starting pitchers. I always wonder about Kansas City. You know, I guess they've got that persona as, the Royals. But the Royals are 79 and 66, Eric. They're holding a wild card spot, and they're playing the New York Yankees tonight. Seth Lugo's on the hill, 15-8. Nothing to sneeze at, 3.05 ERA. Yankees counter with 10-7. Marcus Stroman. We'll talk about that one, I'm sure, coming up on the Giant Sports Talk Live after our in-depth look at the Giants play tonight as they play at home. Now, we've got Baltimore on the road in Boston.
Yeah, yesterday Boston really clobbered the Orioles in Boston. This game you'll be able to catch on TBS. You got Albert Suarez going for the Orioles, and you got Cutter Crawford going for the Boston Red Sox. Boston, they're one of the teams that are trying to battle to get into that third wild card. Again, they're one of the 3 teams that are 3 games behind the third wild card. So let's see what they can do. It's going to be tough going against Baltimore, but you never know. They were able to pull out that win yesterday. They had Ref Snyder and O'Neill go back to back
twice.
Yeah, it was incredible. Wow.
Well, you know, Minnesota, Eric, take a look at this game. Minnesota is 76 and 68. So they're 8 games over 500, but they are battling to try to get into the postseason. They're taking on the Angels tonight. Once again, Griffin Canning for the visiting Angels, 5-12. Pablo Lopez, they're resting their hopes on some good pitching. 14-8 for Minnesota, 4.05, a target field. And Minnesota's the favorite in this game, but they better bring their A game. They're fighting for their playoff life.
Yes, they are.
Chicago, are they fighting for a playoff life this year, next year, or any year in the future, Eric?
What is that, 112 losses? They're just trying to not be the worst team ever to play.
An embarrassment of epic proportions.
You got Ben Lively going for the Guardians. Jonathan Cannon going for the Chicago White Sox. We can all probably guess how this is going to turn out. But it's baseball. You never know. And
never know. When you're visiting pitcher, when you're Ben Lively, you got to feel pretty confident.
And that will take place at the South Side in Chicago.
Cincinnati, they're on the road in St. Louis. They're getting a bigger crowd than they have as of late. It's Rhett Lauder up against Andre Palante. That one at 6:45 tonight. That'll tip off around the same time as the Giants hosting Milwaukee. But we've got a game in Houston tonight to talk about, Eric.
Yeah, I got the Oakland A's visiting Houston. Going for the A's is Osvaldo Bido, I think. The Giants faced him. As a matter of fact, he did a pretty good job against the Giants a couple of weeks ago. Facing off against Spencer Arrighetti for the Houston Astros. You never know. Because one thing about the A's, they could swing the bat. So you never know what they may be able to do, even if it's against a good team like Houston. That will take place again, 5:10 p.m. Pacific.
San Diego resting their hopes tonight on the road at T-Mobile Park. And Yu Darvish, he's back.
Coming back.
Darvish is 4-3, and George Kirby 11-10. He's had a lackluster season, in my opinion. 11-10, 3.61 ERA. It's a battle of right-handers today. The Padres. Now they've been playing great ball as of late, Eric, but now all of a sudden they're taking a little peek over their fedoras and wondering who's creeping up on them. We'll take a look at where San Diego is sitting in the wild card race in just a second, but it's getting interesting.
Yep, and Seattle again is one of the 3 teams that are 3 games behind of the 3rd wild card in the American League. So they got something to play for as well, and they got George Kirby going. So that's going to be a good pitching matchup between Darvish and Kirby. Should be fun.
Well, the Padres got something to play for tonight, man. They can't rest on their laurels, even though they're leading in the wild card race right now. Things can change in a week pretty quick.
Yep, and in Texas, we'll face off against Arizona. You got Nathan Eovaldi going for the Rangers. Zach Gallen going for the D-backs. Should be a fun game in Arizona. Again, Arizona's, they're fighting for that wild card position as well. They're still secured the 2nd position, I believe. But as you said, when we look at the standings, it's getting a little bit tight there in the NL wild card.
Yep. Shota Imanaga. Love that name. He's 12-3. He's getting a little bit of consideration in the Cy Young, but he's got some stiff competition. You know what? He's a long shot at best, but you can't underestimate the Cubs' 12-3 record. They're on the road in L.A. Now, they beat the Dodgers last night, so they hope a strong outing tonight from Imanaga will go a long way to beating the Dodgers. And guess who pitches tonight for L.A. there?
Yeah, we haven't seen that name in about 2 months, have we?
6-2, 2.92 ERA. Which Yamamoto will we see on the hill? Rusty, or will he be back to fine form? That should be a great. That's my pitching matchup of the night. Shota Imanaga, Yoshinobu Yamamoto. It's taken me all season to get that out of my mouth. Yoshinobu Yamamoto. TBS. You can catch it if you want to watch that one, or you can tune in ESPN Plus. You can listen on KNBR. If you're in the Bay Area, like most of us, I'm actually on the road right now, but I'd be watching on the local NBC Bay Area when the Giants, Eric, host the Milwaukee Brewers.
Hey, it's going to be, going back to that pitching matchup. If there's one thing that the Dodgers need for them, they need to shore up that pitching rotation. Let's see what Yamamoto, hopefully, let's see if as far as the Dodgers are concerned, if they want to make any type of run, they need some production from Yamamoto. So it's going to be interesting to watch that game to see how that pans out.
We'll be able to follow that one in its later stages when we go live tonight on
Correct.
Giants Sports Talk Live. That'll be after Giants baseball tonight. Again, they're hosting the Milwaukee Brewers. It should be a good game. Before we get into the standings, Eric, and the wild card especially, what did we have on Giant Sports Talk Live last night? We didn't do an actual poll, but I think the consensus was the Brew Crew should win 2 out of 3.
Yeah, that seems to be the consensus. The consensus. I think the Giants would just win 1.
Yeah, the boys in the chat were talking it up last night, and I think the majority said 2 out of 3. I said the Giants would win 2 out of 3. That was about 2 weeks ago. It's not fair for me to change my tune. The bet's already in. So I'm going to stick with Giants win 2 of 3, but it's going to be tough. We need a big outing from a Hayden Birdsong. All right, let's get to the wild card. You want to start in the American League right off the bat?
Yeah, we'll get in the American League. Got Baltimore Orioles. They're leading of the first wild card. Kansas City Royals in the second. And here you got the Minnesota Twins in the third. Now, here's the 3 teams that we're talking about. The Tigers, the Red Sox, and the Mariners. Those are the 3 teams, all with the identical record. So yeah. They could make a run for Minnesota. Again, Minnesota's got to look behind them a little bit just to see what's going on. So they could make a play. I think there's about 20-ish games, maybe a little bit less. And you never know. One of these teams can go on a run and make a push for one of these wild cards. Should be exciting. Then over
it should. I mentioned during our chit chat about the pitching lines for today. You've got Minnesota. I said they're fighting for their playoff life. Yes, they are with those teams. 3 of them right over their shoulder. And tonight, Pablo Lopez is 14-8. So you would expect at least a solid outing from him. Correct. And they got to win the games down the line. If they don't, man, that's 3 games, an actual 3. Nobody has a game at hand there. I see the records are identical.
Yes.
And it's do or die now for the Twins. They're holding on for dear life.
Oh, let me take a look at this. I'm just going to see at home. They're fantastic. Or Detroit at home. Oh, they're pretty much at 500 at home and away. Boston.
You know what? Those are 1, 2, 3, 4 teams. And for all intent and purposes, look at Kansas City. You got Minnesota, Detroit, Boston, and Seattle. You could flip a coin, Eric.
Yep.
Any given
and day. Look at Boston. They got a better away record than at home. That's different. They don't get that home field advantage at Fenway. The Mariners, they're fantastic at home. Away,
They are, but look,
they
Eric,
suck.
look at this statistic that I often look to. Look at the run differential for the Seattle Mariners. They're a plus 46. Boston is a meager plus 3, but it don't matter. They're still tied.
They're losing close games. That's what they're doing. They're losing close games. On the road, they're atrocious. It's going to be interesting to see how this all plans out. It really is. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Okay, let's flip it over.
National League Padres, only 1.5 games ahead in the first.
So Darvish better come to pitch tonight.
Only 1 game from the first. Look at this. Look at this. All these 3. That is some close standings as far as the wild cards is concerned. Who's going to take it? I don't know. Cubs, they may be able to make a run. Maybe. I don't know. They look like they're a little bit further, a little bit out, but we'll see how this.
So look at Arizona. Arizona holding that 1-game lead on the Mets, and you touched on it during your segment, but that's a great pitching matchup tonight. Arizona's got Zach Gallen, 11-6, up against Nathan Eovaldi, who is 11-7.
There you go. Yeah, it's going to be a good pitching matchup in Arizona. That's another good one. There's some shootouts going out in the West. In LA, you got Yamamoto and Imanaga, and then here in Arizona, you're going to have Eovaldi and Gallen. Should be fun.
And like they say in the song, Eric, for the Giants, the party's over. It's time to call it a day.
It's done.
We still talk about it. The show is called Giant Sports Talk Live. We'll be back after the final pitch tonight. A Northern Lights Entertainment production. Don't forget, if you have nothing to do right now and you are viewing us, pop it up, Eric. You can go online to our website right now, today. It's your final opportunity. Yes. Send us an application on the website. There's a little entry form on our worldwide website. All you have to do is log in today, and tonight we'll be giving away a Logan Webb jersey. So visit us. There it is, www.giantsportstalklive.com. Scroll down. You'll see Enter to Win. Send us the application. We'll draw tonight live on the air because the show is Giants Sports Talk Live.
Hey, how about that? All right, Glenn, we'll see you tonight. The chat, we'll see you guys out there tonight. Like I said, around 9:30. Depending on when the game ends.
See you after final pitch. Go Giants!
See ya!